Cool. What up, guys? So tonight is, I guess we would say, June's rank up call. My name is Justin Avini. I'm what Optavia calls a integrated global director. Really excited to be on and kind of celebrate some people tonight, and also kind of go over some other stuff. What I do love about this, and I love keeping it unplugged, raw, and real sometimes, with some of our groups growing and expanding. This month, this particular call, we had a few rank ups this last month in June. We had a lot as a team wide, but for this particular call, I'm kind of excited because I really want to get to the nuts and bolts of what's exciting for us, what the structure is. We're going to talk a little bit about the up and coming leadership incentive trip, which is really exciting. We're going to talk a little bit about convention. But first, I want to get on and kind of celebrate a couple people, especially my man, Don Maydell, who ranked and qualified second month as integrated national. So if he has a few minutes to kind of hop on and share, and we'll get around to some of these celebrations.
Well, thanks, Justin. Yeah, it's pretty amazing where this has gone from where it was last year at convention, because talking about the trip, the incentive trip last year when they announced it at convention. I was just a baby. I was just an ED by volume. I think I had one or two coaches, no senior coaches, and they announced the trip. And all of a sudden I realized I had to hit Civic in order to qualify for this trip. And it seemed like in a task, I thought there's just no way I can do this. And by September, we were at Civic. And, all of a sudden it shifted from being about clients and helping clients to helping people build businesses. And, when you start to reach ranks like integrated national, it's not about you anymore. It's about the team. And we have an amazing team. We do our team calls on Tuesday nights. And I love the people that are building businesses with us here in Optavia. It's incredible to watch them grow and the changes each week. We have a new leader step up and run our training calls. So if there's anything I can talk about, it's events. We hear it all the time on trainings. But at the end of this month, we're all going to head to Orlando. And, I could say I'm not going to go to Orlando. I could have said I couldn't be on this call tonight because I'm picking up my daughter. And there was nowhere to pick up my daughter. I had to pick her up. So I'm just waiting. And I'm here on this call because I stopped prioritizing my schedule and I started scheduling my priorities. And this is a priority for me. Events are a priority for me. My family's going to be on vacation in Newport Beach the week of the convention. So I get to go there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but then Tuesday night I'm leaving and I'm flying out to Orlando because it's a priority for me to be at this event. I could make an excuse, but we have to persistently be successful business. And that's what happens. We stop prioritizing our schedule and we start scheduling our priorities. And being on these calls, being on the trainings, being available for our coaches. As we bring on coaches, it's going to shift a little bit for you. And
We lost you, Don.
It's going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
It muted me. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay, I'm back now. Sorry, it muted me when the call came through. So, what I was saying is that, it shifts as you start to bring on coaches. This changes a little bit and may take a little bit more of your time and you're going to have to pour into them a little bit more. But as you do and you start to develop a team, it's amazing what you can create. Joy and I have been doing this together for a little bit of time now, and we talk a lot. And it's just crazy to think of what we've created in such a short period of time and where this can all go. For me, I think that's probably one of the most exciting things about this opportunity, this organization, this mission that we're all on. You saw it on the call last night with Dr. A, or on Monday night with Dr. A. You could just see the excitement in him. He's like a little kid in a candy store, his vision's coming true. And as we start to build this business, we start to get dreams and goals. Some of my coaches I talk to, they've never set a goal in their life. They didn't have any goals. They didn't have any dreams because it was just the same thing year after year. And today, it's just so exciting because we have all these goals and we have all these dreams and things that we just thought were impossible are all of a sudden starting to become possibilities. And we realize what we can build with this thing. And, we just have so much fun with this. And events are fun. We're going to have a blast in Orlando. I can't wait. If you've never been to an Optavia event, this would definitely be one to start with. I just brought on a new coach. He just started, just bought his kit on Sunday. And guess what? He's coming to Orlando because he sees the vision of what this is, and he wants to build this business. And we told him, well, if you want to build this business, then you need to be in Orlando in this month. And he can make an excuse and say why he can't be there, but he's just going to be there. And that's the bottom line. We can do whatever we choose. We just have to make a decision that that's what we want to do. And if you make a decision that what you want to do is build a big business with Optavia, then that takes sponsoring coaches and helping people build businesses. There's really only 4 things we need to do in order to build an incredible business. That's client acquisition and client support, coach acquisition and coach support. Those are the 4 things you need to get good at. And, wherever you're at in this business, this is what's great about this international leadership advancement trip that Justin's going to talk about. Wherever you're at in this business, you can qualify and be there with all the top leaders in Optavia. Joy and I and Jeanette and a lot of us were able to go on the cruise and qualify for that international leadership advancement trip last year. And I think one of the easiest paths is if you're a brand new coach. If you're a brand new coach on this, you can, it's totally achievable. And no matter where you are in rank right now, you have plenty of time to achieve and hit the qualifications for this. So it's exciting. If you really want to get excited, these next couple of months are going to be amazing. August and September always are. That's when I was, like I said, I was ED and the whole excitement of the event of being in Orlando or in St. Louis last year, and just listening to the humility of Dr. A and Dan Bell and the people that lead this organization and where they came from and where they are today, and to hear the stories of transformation and how families are just being impacted and legacies are being created, and it's so awesome. And so I'm super excited to be there. I really can't wait. I wish I was there now, but we'll be there soon enough. And so if there's anything I can tell you, it's events, and you can create whatever you want with this opportunity. So thanks, Justin.
Yeah, no worries, man. And obviously you guys see why his team's on fire with his energy behind it, and really encouragement of making sure everybody understands the structure. So just so you guys know, some of you newer guys, Integrated National is a pretty good position in the company, or in your business, I guess you should say, or with the company. That's really where you're starting to build roots and legs. It's in the top 3%. That's really where you're starting to build structure, more time freedom in certain areas of your business as you grow and grow, because you're starting to duplicate yourself. So just to give you an idea, Integrated National is where Donald has duplicated himself basically 3 times. He has 3 executive directors, and then he also has 5 senior coaches. So executive directors are people that have acquired 17 clients if they're all frontline volume, or if they're a blended executive director, they may have a couple of senior coaches and coaching partners with them. And then he also has 5 senior coaches, which would be a coach with 5 ordering entities and then 5 clients. So it's really starting to build legs and structure in your business. It's really a good place to be because you start to get to see the fun of other people starting to grow their businesses and move forward, so on and so forth. So I'm really excited for him and his team. Like I said, what's cool about tonight's call is it's a little bit more intimate. I feel like it's more of going to be like a team training than a celebration. As a team as a whole, we did have, like I said, quite a few rank ups, but as we divided out and different teams have done things, the cool thing is for this particular call, we're going to go through some of other things and really kind of focus on the key things that make our businesses grow. And like Donald said, convention is one of them. So I want to bring on Joy, my aunt, to kind of share what convention means to her and kind of share her story and like what that looks like.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
So a little bit of my story, and I know that I think there's a couple people on here that I haven't met, so hello. So my story is a little different. Mine did not come from a weight loss perspective. Again, like Justin said, I'm his auntie, and prior to coaching, I was an executive in the fashion industry. And I love my career, and I chose it so I could travel, and I was able to travel all over the world and build a really nice career in life. I ended up getting married later in life, ended up having twins later, and so I really wanted to slow down my career, but in the capacity that I was working, it was really hard to do. So what sacrificed was my health and taking care of myself. So simultaneously, I'm watching Justin. And he's, really his life is changing, his mindset. He's building a beautiful family unit. He's growing his coaching business. And I'm just kind of watching him from afar until one day I just had enough. So I just want to preface that I watched Justin for 4 years. Okay. So you're going to meet people that are not going to see the vision of the company right now, and that's okay. They don't always jump on right away. That's why we layer, because it's not a no, it's just not a right now. So just remember that. I'm not a weight loss story, and I did not come right away. So eventually I was at Justin's house. It was a big family gathering, and I was just really at my limit. I was 51 with 10-year-old twins. And I was, started a small business with a partner. I had a showroom downtown. I was working from my house, trying to kind of do part-time and be involved with my kids at school. So what's again, sacrifice was me. I would grocery shop at midnight. I did everything after everyone went to bed because I wanted to be present, but it was not a life to live. So I was at Justin's house. I finally said, enough is enough. I said, put me on that program. I was very flippant about it. Oh, just let me do that thing you're doing. So he's like, well, you should probably coach. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I ordered everything at once. I got the box. The box sat in my room, and I just looked at it. And I was like, well, geez, maybe I should just do it. Worst client ever, by the way. I did the program. 6 weeks later, my life was transformed. I'm not joking. I lost 10 pounds. I felt amazing. I had mental clarity. I had more patience. I started getting back pain because I have scoliosis, but I thought, I'm in my 50s. This is normal. It's not. I have no more back pain. So that really caught my attention. But at the same time, I remember I started this other company, and friends were asking, but I was really apprehensive because I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of person. And I committed to this other business, and I was really nervous to share with my partner. And Justin was like, it's okay. Well, anyways, she ended up being my first client. So, and then a few months after that, we closed the company. It was more of her backing. She closed the company. And if I didn't have coaching in my back pocket to go and run with it, I would be back full-time on a plane every month to New York. So this has been beyond a gift for me. So there's a lot of clues in there that my story is not traditional. But it has changed my life. My why was to stay home with my children. I'm home with my children. And that has been the most amazing gift. And like Donald said, we have an amazing team that we have partnered with. And it's really exciting. We have a lot of executives that want to leave their careers. And I'm like, I can help you with that. I understand. So it's amazing. I don't even know. I want to scream it from the mountaintops. That's how I feel. So I love sharing my story again, because 4 years, remember 4 years, I'm not a weight loss. And you might have, maybe, people would look at me and go, oh, she doesn't need to start, wanted to coach. She doesn't need to lose weight. She has a thriving career. But you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So regarding convention, I do not miss any events. If this is my business and I'm CEO of my business, when I was in corporate America, I couldn't miss events. I had to fly to Guatemala and do presentations that I didn't want to do, but I didn't have a choice. So why would I not make this a priority if I'm CEO and it's my choice? So I do not miss events. I will say that going to my first convention, it wasn't like I went to convention and I was all in. But what happened at convention was, number one, I showed myself my commitment to my business. And it was also really fun to meet all the people that you watch on trainings. all these leaders that you kind of look at from afar, you get to meet them in person, and they're lovely and they're accommodating and they take pictures and they answer questions. You also get to meet Dr. Ray. How wonderful is that to meet the man that has this mission and who's so humble and full of integrity. Another thing, as we get going, we talk about Facebook and branding ourselves. Consistency. We talk about consistency in our business. I also feel that consistency in coaching. When I go to convention, I post a lot. I do Facebook Lives. I talk about it. That is showing how committed I am to my business. So that continues that commitment and that consistency. So when people are watching me, they look and they go, wow, she really is building a business. Wow, she really believes in what she's doing. So if there's, it's consistency is the thread through everything. Another thing is, I made some notes. Normally I don't. I made notes tonight. I think that's the gist of it. And the other thing is, it's really exciting. My first convention, I just brought myself. And then different events, we've had more people. I think this convention, there might be like 11 or 12 of us going. And how exciting to go and see the vision together. So if you're not able to make it to convention, there'll be another one. That's okay. But just know that this is an amazing, amazing company. I'm so blessed and how fun I get to do this with my nephew, who I adore. So thank you for letting me speak.
So awesome, man. I hope you guys have your pen and paper out. I'm taking notes here, even when Don was speaking. I think you can always learn from somebody else. It doesn't matter where you're at. But I think the two things I got from Joy and Donald was, one is make a decision and then be consistent with it. I think that's the biggest thing with this. And also, if we treat this as a business, you'll get better results. If we treat it as a hobby, you'll get hobby results, right? So I think that's important. I wanted to take tonight to, like I said, to share a little bit more about convention and the importance of it. What are some takeaways? What are some things that we can do? Because I want to kind of prepare you guys for all these tidbits that they're giving you, going to convention, going to events, creating events. I think a big thing for us is creating events too, guys. If you haven't done a healthy happy hour or you haven't done like a Facebook Live where you're maybe interviewing somebody on there. If you're a brand new coach and you're not utilizing Facebook yet, especially for you watching the playback, work with your mentors on that stuff. But I think creating events, creating energy, creating community is huge. And even we have coaches that are going to convention. We talked to earlier today at breakfast, and they're like, well, I have friends in Florida. Invite them out to the team night. I mean, that's really what it's about. Get them to the community, because that's the importance of what you're going to see. So I'm excited to bring on this next person. She's been coaching with me for a while. She always has a poker face when she's on, but maybe she'll smile because she knows what I'm talking about. But Desiree is going to kind of hop on and share with us a little bit about the importance and what convention meant to her. So Global Director Desiree DeBay.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah, he's always got to make fun of my the faces that I make because I always look so serious. But you guys, this is awesome. I can't believe we're nearing another convention, and I can't wait for the people that have never been to one to experience that. A little bit about my background. I almost missed this. I almost missed this opportunity because originally when I signed up as a coach, I wanted to help one person, and that's how narrow-minded I was when I started, because I only had my eyes set on one person that I really cared about, wanted to help. And once this person did not decide to do this program, that was it. That was my only intention, until it kind of just made more sense when you realize how many people you're missing. There's so many people out there looking for this, that need this, that I was completely just being narrow-minded and almost completely passed this up. And this program is very much about helping others. Coaching is very much about helping others, and it's also about helping ourselves. So that's kind of where I started to have some mind shifts. The very first convention I went to, I was not happy to go, you guys, and I didn't know what I was going to, but I fought my husband a little bit on it. We started coaching together, and he wasn't able to go to the convention, but he was encouraging me to, and I was really upset with him because I felt like, what? You expect me to go when you're not going? And instead of understanding, which I had no clue, instead of understanding like what I was going to go see, I was kind of holding some resentment until I was actually there. you guys. And I saw friends walk across that stage, and I looked and I noticed, and I had this mind shift, this amazing mind shift where I caught that vision and I was like, my goodness, this is huge. This is way bigger than me. This is way bigger than one person. And this is way bigger than being selfish and being mad at my husband, because he didn't get to be here. He didn't get to be here. Instead of me thinking like, oh, he's not here and I have to be here, it turned into, he doesn't get to be here to experience this. So yes, I mean, I used to be a realtor full-time before I started coaching, and I accidentally replaced my income in 6 months when I kind of just put, you know, my head into the game here. And then after a year, doubled it. And I guess just coming from a real estate background, it's just kind of crazy when I thought I had freedom, and I thought I got into that career for freedom because I was a single mom at the time, and I kind of felt like I get to make my own hours. I get to create my own schedule, take my daughter to school, pick her up. And you guys, it is all those things, except for we forget one thing. When you're your own boss, you're also your own employee. And I forgot about the door knocking. I forgot about the cold calling. And it's not that easy to take a child with you to an open house because they want to hide in closets and you're more focused on them than, you know, the people that are walking through. So yes, I thought I loved my career. I thought I loved my job. I think I loved myself more than anything because my ego had a way bigger weight loss journey than my body. And what I kind of figured out during the process of coaching was, man, maybe I don't love that career as much as I thought I did. You know, maybe I don't have as much freedom as I thought I did. So, I mean, it was great to make 24, 25 plus grand in a month, but you don't know how long it's going to last you in that career. You could fall out of escrow at any moment. So kind of diffusing the stress, being able to truly be home for my daughter was just life-changing for myself, made me a mom again, especially going through program and fat burn and having that energy, getting out of my head. I didn't want to post my before and after picture because my ego told me I don't want anybody to see my before picture. They all think I didn't need to lose weight. And that's because we're women. We're really good at hiding in clothes. And so it turns out 15 pounds looks really good when it comes off, you guys. And so it was just life-changing to have the tools to get there. And then convention again, you guys. The best way I can describe convention is like, and I said this on my team call yesterday, but it's like when you hear your favorite song on the radio, but then going to the concert. What happens when you go to a concert and you feel the music through your body and you have goosebumps everywhere because everybody around you is singing the words with you and everybody's just on a whole nother level, like super into the music. And then you have, you know, it's just radiating through your body and it's just loud in there. And it's just this giant arena filled with people with energy on another level. And you cannot describe it in words, but you can feel it. I don't know, I think I did pretty good on describing it in words, but you can really feel it, you guys, when you're there with everybody else. There's people around you crying because they're all catching that vision at the same time, getting goosebumps. And you know what? It's okay to cry in front of people. It's like this community just embraces each other. And we just all have this mutual understanding that we're on a mission, and it's to get America healthy. And we get to benefit along the way from that too, just like our first responders, just like nurses, just like doctors. We all get to, you know, just love on people, take people to another level, not just in their health, but in their entire life. We change people's bodies. We change their, you know, getting off of medications. Imagine changing a life because somebody got to stay home with their kids. Imagine changing a life because somebody got to leave a job that they hated. That's the level that we all want to get on. And going to convention, you guys, you can't miss that. I mean, I almost did. And you know what? I'll never miss another one. I pay for my next convention while I'm sitting there in that audience. I pay for the next one because I'm ready and I know what comes out of it, and it just launches you to that next level. So that's what we're here for, guys, to just basically breathe life into each other and just love on each other. And the community, I get to be friends with people like Joy and Dawn, and when you create community events, it's like having mini conventions all year long. And that's what we need, you guys. We need people that are like-minded, that are here to understand and then help keep us, because, you know, it could be lonely on the way up. It really can. You start to question friendships because you're realizing that a lot of times people are kind of dragging each other down, not intentionally, but hurt people hurt people. So we got to create community. We got to stay, you know, connected to each other and just go. You guys, success leaves clues. Don't miss convention. That's all I got.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I thought Donald was going to be the star talker tonight, but I think he came in with a heavy hitter there. No, I mean, honestly, everything Desiree said. I mean, there's a reason she's where she's at. There's a reason her team is growing. There's a reason she's awesome at supporting people, as you can hear it in her voice and her heart, where it is. And the reason I wanted to kind of beat up on convention tonight, guys, is because to really understand, there's reasons to go, and we're not just making it up just to tell you to go to some, kind of cool resort. Which, if you've ever been to the Gaylord, they're pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I've been to a couple of them: Tennessee, Texas, Orlando. So it's been a lot of fun. But the idea is and even as Kim Fiskell say, there's the potty debriefs. Everybody's in the bathroom on the break trying to talk about what happened in each training, and so much fun stuff just constantly goes on. You're up at 1:00 in the morning, have a cup of coffee, talking to somebody you don't even know, and all of a sudden the light switch goes off because their aunt that they impacted, a year ago resonates with you. And now you have this vision, and all of a sudden it just kicks in. And getting to see Dr. A walk across stage and share his heart and cry, and Lori, blood, sweat, and tears, rest in peace for her. But it's just something you can't really explain. So I'm excited. I got one more person I want to bring on. She's been with me almost from the beginning, kind of excited. She's on vacation, and hopefully the dogs aren't going to jump all over when she gets off mute. But I'd like to bring on Luann Lopez and kind of just share, what this program has meant to her physically, mentally, and financially, and then, a little bit about convention and what that looks like. So Luann, are you able to hop on? Here, I'll unmute you. There you go.
Hey,
cool.
Hey,
Yep.
everybody. Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Geez, it's been 5 years now since I hopped on program, and it has changed my life more than I could ever expected. Coming from a family that just worked all 6 days a week and took Sunday off and really didn't have much of anything, and just used my body just to work. And eventually, after driving school bus for 15 years, I gained about 50 pounds as a bus driver, and doing that job, and my husband having his business. And then 2008 hit. And basically, we had to give what wasn't our house, we gave back to the bank, or we sold it. And we were financially upside down after 33 years of marriage, and we weren't going anywhere. But our daughter had tried the program for the LA Sheriff's Academy, and then I decided, I'm going to give Justin a call. And April 25th, I started a program. And just 2 months into program, Justin saw something in me and said, I think you can really make a great coach. And I decided to go ahead and become a coach. Well, with that, a month later was my very first convention. And that convention was in Anaheim. It was about 60 miles away. But to get there, I couldn't stay at the hotel. So what I would do is Justin's aunt would come down from Victorville. We would meet. Then I would drive her to another coach that lived down off the 91. Then we would go to Anaheim, spend all day there, all night, leave at 11 o'clock, come back. Then at 4 a.m, we'd start that over again. So my first convention was very memorable, and it was amazing walking into that to the convention center and seeing how many like-minded people there were there, and seeing them still here to this day. How they've grown and how they've changed so many lives. But for me, I was able to actually quit my job after 18 years of being a school bus driver, and I replaced my income, and gone through quite a few things the last few years. But I've done the incentive trips. One was to Coronado. One was to this last trip on the ship, and our company takes really good care of us. Convention, I've gone to. This will be my 4th convention, and I'm really excited about it. I'm going with other coaches from other teams. So, like Justin was saying, it's really what you get after the time. Hold on, he's calling. It's really the nuts and bolts are really what you get after the convention, when you sit down, and you can sit down in a coffee area, or you can just sit down in the in your room and just talk to all the other coaches and just really, 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 not only get to have good friends, but also you get to just kind of pick each other's brains and kind of see where they're at and what ideas that they may have that you haven't tried yet. So I'm going to convention. I'm really excited about it. I'm not excited about the humidity with the fibromyalgia, but you know what? We'll make it work. So, but thank you for having me on. Say hello.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's awesome. Yeah, Luann's awesome. I remember her sharing with me. I was up in Kernville at a wedding. It was like July 16th or something like that, and she was having a really hard time because her job was just kind of exploiting her. They wouldn't give her solid hours. They were taking hours. They were doing things, and you just never know what somebody's going through unless you take that extra time. So just remember, like, clients, when they talk to you, don't get into like a structured robotic, check-in of how you doing with your water, how you doing with your sleep, how you doing with your eating. Okay, you're stressed out. Let's read chapter 21. Really kind of get to know that person. We talk about, one of our transformational habits is cultivating trust. Really dive into these people and find out what they need and what they're doing. Ask questions. Don't be the interested person, the interesting person. Be the interested person, and really start to find out things about them. Because look at where she's at today. She was able to move up the hill. She was able to quit her job. They bought a second home before they sold their first home. Just so many things can start to happen. She retired early. She's able to take her grandkids to Disneyland all the time, or be that stay-at-home, I don't want to say babysitter, but she can watch them while her daughter, goes to work or whatever, or her son-in-law. But it just creates options. This is just so much more than a health program, guys. I really want you guys to see that between my aunt, 6-figure income earner, plus to, somebody that's working 10, 12-hour days driving a school bus, to a construction guy. I was making $15 an hour at 31 years old, and mine's a little bit exaggerated at how much I make. Some of you guys may have had better careers. And even for Jennifer Shoemaker, when I first met her, I was in the sense of, I don't want to say pleading, but I was like, man, you should coach, because I could just hear it in her voice. She was stressed out. She made great money, but she was just stressed out. And so she's here today, and I'm excited for her. But I'm really excited for this incentive trip. Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I've been paying attention. And if you haven't booked a call with your mentor on how to strategize this, 2 things I want to share with you guys. One is first thought is there's no way I can earn this trip, right? That's sometimes what our first thought is. Second thought is okay, I got to figure out how I'm going to do it, right? Well, I want to encourage you guys that even if you reach for this thing, and even if you work really hard for it, do you realize the financial growth that you'll have as well? Nobody ever thinks about that part. They're just like, man, I'm going to get to this incentive trip. Well, some of you guys, to get to this incentive trip, by the time you land at 6 months in December, you're earning an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Not a bad plan. I mean, you could probably pay for a trip on your own 2 or 3 months prior, right? So just really remember that when you're sitting there, working towards this goal or working towards that, understand where the financial stability can start to come in, where the financial freedom can start to come in, how many more people you're going to meet by then, who is going to go with you. So really want to understand that. So a couple things. I want to show you guys, some of you newer coaches, what this looks like. And like I said, I'm just going to run through it really quick. The numbers are not going to make any sense. One other thing I want to share with you guys too, before I forget, is in your guys' back office. I don't know if you noticed, they sent out an email on Saturday that your back office was going to be changed a little bit. Well, we have international expansion, right? So when you go into Singapore or Hong Kong and a kit costs 900 yen, right? And a kit over here is $394 American dollars, your frontline volume's not going to look the same, right? Because maybe like 10 kits and you already look like you have a 6,000 frontline volume. So if you guys notice the qualifying numbers, FQV is frontline qualifying volume. That's because it's going to be a universal language as we go into other countries, and the dollar isn't the same as the yen. I think it's 7 yen for every dollar or something like that. Don't hold me to that. But so FQV is going to be your new qualifying points that's going to be a universal. So if you order a kit for somebody in Singapore, it's going to have the certain qualifying numbers. If you order a kit for somebody in Houston, it's going to have the same qualifying points. So work with your mentors on that, on the details, but you'll notice that's in there. They're not going to have group volume anymore because it's just going to be all over the place. There's no way to keep it up. So those are things to really kind of look for as far as your back office and what your qualifying points look like as far as frontline. So second thing is this trip, man. Let's talk about it. So like Don was saying, pretty sure it was Don, there's different paths to this, right? So anywhere from a senior coach all the way to integrated presidential or integrated global director, you can qualify for this trip. It's pretty straightforward. So senior coach, manager, associate director, or director, you guys can look at this and qualify as an executive director, right? With one senior coach team. So that's basically having one coach with 5 clients, and then yourself, if it's a frontline volume, you're roughly having about 17 clients. Or if you bring on a senior coach, you could do the blended, and that's a little bit complicated. I don't want to get too far into that with the newer coaches. But basically, you want to hit executive director, and then you want to have one senior coach. Most of you guys on here should probably already be senior coaches and understand that. 2, you want to have 2 consecutive months of this. Now, remember, guys, this isn't where you can get lazy and fall back. A lot of people will hit this rank for 2 months and then they'll disappear. So they're not allowing you to do that this time. You actually have to pay attention and keep that. So two consecutive months, and one of them definitely has to be in the month of December. In fact, all of these have to be in the month of December. But just to let you know, so say you hit executive director this month, right? And say you hit executive director next month, and then you fall down to director or associate director. You need to be back up there by December. So just remember these things. So generating 30,000 Q, like I said, FQ, I'm still not used to pronouncing this, FQV, it's qualifying points, right? Because we're also allowed to be able to launch into Asia now. So the second one path is executive director and regional director. So some of you guys are pretty hip to this and you kind of understand that. So if you're already an executive director, regional director, qualify as a fully integrated business coach, 2 consecutive months. So for some of you guys, that's an executive director and you have 5 senior coaches underneath you. So that's 5 coaches with 5 clients each, meaning 5 ordering entities. You have to have a FQV of 45,000. And that's basically your frontline volume. And so that's that. So qualifying that. And then, like I said, also in the month of December. So they're not letting you guys hit this in these 3 months. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, December for some of you newer coaches isn't going to be a month where you want to just, well, I'm only going to hit this in November, December because I need to do it consecutively. Wouldn't recommend that because December, even though it's an amazing month, can still be questionable around the holidays. So I would make sure that we're paying attention to this and ramp it up over the next 90 days to not only hit this, but blow past it and really structure yourself going into November and December. Integrated executive directors, integrated regionals, nationals may not drop below integrated executive directors. So we got our hands full a little bit here for some of us bigger guys. And then, so also generating 60,000 FQV. I'm getting the hang of saying it finally. And developing an executive director and 1 senior coach team in generation 0, basically, which means your frontline volume, or excuse me, your frontline as a coach, qualifying for 2 consecutive months, right? Integrated national, global, and presidential. You guys pretty much already know what's on here. I don't want to get too technical with some of the newer people, but here's the catch. So for you new coaches who are brand new, the cool thing is whatever you guys qualified in the month, I don't know if you guys can see this over here where my mouse is, May or June. So whatever your highest qualifying numbers were in May or June is where you would start out with these paths. So make sure you get with your mentors. If you were a senior coach in May, and then you were associate director in June, you're going to qualify for this path. If you were you were an executive director in May, and then you were an associate director in June, you're going to qualify for this path. So really get in tune with which one you're going to do, because these are really important. If you guys need help, I'm here as well. Most of you guys have amazing business leaders below me that are supporting you, but I wouldn't even mind getting on and walking through this with you guys if you want some extra support on doing this. If you haven't booked a call with your coach, please do, because a lot of the energy coming out of convention, we keep saying convention, convention, convention. A lot of the energy coming out of convention can really wrap around what this is going to do and explode this all the way to December. This is not hard to do, guys. And like I said, even if you guys are looking to earn an extra $500 to $1,000, if we treat this as a business, when you go to a job, you basically wash, rinse, repeat, right? The cool thing about this business is it's stacking. So the same stuff you're doing to get to the $500 a month to manage it, you still want to continue doing that. By the time you get over here to September, October, November, December, you're earning $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 a month. So this trip can be easily done, and you'll have some kind of spending cash too when you go on, and I think that's kind of cool. And whatever else goals you guys have working with these guys. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I wanted to talk about is just a little bit of house cleaning. I'm not in all your guys' team groups or team messengers, and also on some of your team calls, which is really exciting to see. We have a lot of growth, but I just want you guys to have clarity on some of these groups that we have. I'm trying to close. That means here. Let me figure this share. So I didn't mean to do it that way. Move this out of the way. Go over here. So this is our coaching group, right? We've been welcomed in here. I really want you guys, newer coaches, make sure if you haven't seen this, get with your mentors. Take a look at the files tab. A lot of what you need as new coaches is in here. One of the crucial things I really wanted to show you guys was this. This is where us as brand new coaches, if we get overwhelmed on what to do with the client, even though your mentor is probably going to be walking hand in hand with you, there's a Google Doc on literally what to do with clients. Client checklist, schedule a call, make the call 20 to 25 minutes, fill out the health assessment, right? I mean, day by day, day one text, afternoon text check-in, right? So just make sure that you guys are aware of what these are, and that's why I wanted to show this to you. For some of you newer mentor coaches and you're bringing on a coach, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Guess what? We have that covered too. There's a new coach process. So really simple stuff, guys. This coaching group is really good. One of the other things I was trying to tell you guys too is if you're trying to create an event, we have Elevate Now events all over the place, but there's also step-by-step ways on how to put one together. So just kind of keep an eye on this. This is our business group. If you're brand new and you're not even sure what Facebook is or how to work it, you'll see people welcomed in here. But please take a minute to look at the files tab, kind of scroll through here, and do yourself a favor too. While you're seeing people welcomed in here, let's really encourage some of these calls. As you have new coaches come on and celebrate ranks, or coaches come in here, let's really encourage each other and support each other as we're kind of going through here and welcoming people and feeling the love. We do really well with our client group, which is Journey to Health. But let's also do really well with our coaching group and Inspire. I love seeing all these team calls in here. So this is our coaching group for us, for the newer coaches. Just wanted to clarify that. And then last but not least, I'm really excited to let's finish celebrating everybody who ranked up. We had obviously Don Maydell got on and recognized him as his second month as Integrated National Director, which is a really good position to be in your business. We have some executive directors here with 5 qualifying points each, which is basically hitting senior. Honestly, it's just hitting senior coach 5 times. So Wendy, we got Debbie, we got Jeanette, we got Greta, all hit executive director last month. Ashley Savage hit associate director last month, which is kind of cool because you usually probably skip right over director and you go right to executive director. Just so you guys know, this is honestly, whether you want to make, I'm just being real with you guys, whether you want to make $500 or $5,000, the executive director position is the sweetest spot to be at. I'll give you a couple reasons why. One, You get all 31% of all your food orders and your bonuses as long as you're a certified health coach and you've taken the test. For newer coaches, don't worry about that. Your mentor coaches will tell you when it's appropriate to get the certification test. But you get 31% of all the food orders. You also, holding that rank, you start to get leads from the company, right? And so that's another thing. And you also get the highest rolling consistency bonus every 90 days of $1,000. So like I said, whether you want to make $500 or even, $5,000, whatever it is, executive director is a good spot to be because you get all the bonuses, all the perks of everything. And it's a really good spot to be. And like I said, if we're doing daily actions like we would at a job or at a real business, we would be doing these same things. Eventually, you're going to grow to executive director either way. So just really wanted to explain that out. That's the best spot to be in. Associate director, from associate director to executive director is like 4 clients. What's really more 4 clients? Another hour to manage those, right? So just really understand that. So we have Deanne, she hit manager. We have Megan, she hit senior coach. Dawn Maydell and Joy are fully integrated business coaches. So what that is basically they have 5 senior coaches underneath them. They're starting to build structure in their business. P.S. That is another, for some of your newer coaches, that is another 90-day rolling consistency bonus. So it's kind of cool. Our company just starts throwing money at us for helping people, right? And we don't get paid unless they get paid. And that's the cool part about this is we help out. So like I said, there's a couple cool bonuses that go on in here. So fully integrated business coach, that's another $1,000 bonus. If you're sitting at executive director, that's basically an extra $8,000 a year. Have you guys ever asked your boss for an $8,000 raise in a year? Would they give that to you? Kind of don't think so. I asked my boss for like $1 and he yelled at me one time. So it's all good. So I just want to clarify for you guys sometimes. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. So for you new coaches, don't panic. It's okay. Dawn Maydell's doing a great job of supporting quite a few clients. 10K Club's a cool place to be. Jeanette Palmer, 13. Debbie's at 10. Stacy Tarzia, I don't even know where she's at. That lady, she's the busiest get it done lady I know with 3 kids, always climbing all over. Amazing woman. But basically, these guys are supporting anywhere from 30 to 40 clients doing this and probably earning, if I were to guess, anywhere from $2,800 to $4,000 a month just with a client base, which is kind of cool. Kelly's rocking and rolling. I love her and her development. She's so awesome. She's at 9.4. Probably see her at 10K Club here shortly. Greta's rocking at 8.3. We have Melissa Wagner at 7.1. Paulina Rodriguez at 6,300. So that's awesome. That's where that rolling consistency bonus of 1,000 is just over 6 is your executive director, just so you guys know. We have new coaches, Robert, Elaine, Brittany, Kate. I skipped the last names because I don't want to hack people's names, so I'm just calling you by your first names. But anyways, it's really exciting, guys. I think this year is going to be an amazing year. Like I said, if you haven't been to convention, we've had people that have been 4 days out, financially couldn't figure it out, time-wise couldn't figure it out, had to find a babysitter, flew to the moon and back, and somehow landed at convention. So if there's a will, there's a way. Talk to your mentors too. Don't just give up, and work with your mentors. We're not just business partners or mentors. We're also friends. So if there's ways we can figure out something to help you out with to get you there, let's do it. But I appreciate you guys getting on. I'm excited. I'll see a lot of you guys at convention, and we'll talk more there. All right. You guys have a great evening, and thanks so much for being on, guys.